like there's some customers that might not have $1,000 to have a party, but they will like something nice and something pretty. So that's where I come in. You tell me your budget, you let me know what you're working with, and I'll give you some options, and I'll make it look twice as much or 3 times as much as what people might think you actually paid.
Wow.
And that's what the food and cake comes along with the whole thing. So.
Wow, that's really interesting. Now, you said that you and your mom work together, business of the baking and everything, in the business and everything. Do you are these orders that you then deliver to the clients, or do you? I know down here in North Carolina, the food trucks are very popular, so I didn't know whether you had even considered doing it like either as and I know the stands are very popular up there in the north. So I didn't know whether you ever did like the street vendor and as well as the possibility of food trucks. Because like I said, I know that they're very popular around here. We have food truck rodeos, it seems like, at least once a month during the warm season. Not so much during the winter because it's a little chilly, but definitely during the spring and the summer and even to some degree the fall. They're always doing those food truck things. So I didn't know whether you were even looking into that possibility with your business.
Yes, actually, my mom has a background. She works in the food industry, and she also works for the Board of Ed. So with that came all the extra licenses as far as being able to get the food vendor's license. So we do have like a little stand. We will set up a table with a little stove, and going back to our roots, we will stand exactly where we grew up at. Sissies, is it okay to say where we came from? Like, is that okay? Because we would stand on where we lived at on the corner of 117 and Lexington Avenue, which is pretty much where we grew up at. That was our hood. So we already know the people. They already know us. There's people that, customers like Monique said, April said also, they're word of mouth. Word of mouth goes a long way when you're starting something like this. So, yes, my mom helps a lot. She doesn't do the baking, but she does do everything else, like when it comes to that part. And we will have our regular customers that will come and buy throughout the spring and summer. And you're absolutely right. We did look into trying to get like a food truck here in New York City. It's a little bit more expensive and a little bit harder because you got to pay for the parking and all these other things. But it's definitely an option to be able to have a stand and be able to sell to the customers, especially when they're repeat customers and they keep coming back because they know that they're paying for your quality. And that means a lot when you know that they're getting good quality and they're recommending you and your product to someone else, and you're getting new customers. So that's also a wonderful thing as well.
So, April, I know that what is your background in terms of business? I know that you also have some other businesses interests as well, and I know that definitely Dean has always told me that that he's very much involved in his own businesses, and I imagine you're probably helping him with some of those businesses as well. Tell me a little bit about your business background.
Okay, so my business background, of course, as I indicated, I am the event planner and the crafter. And I actually stumbled across this talent as a fluke because years ago I was out of work and I ended up just sitting around and I was like, I need to find something to do. And one day I just started looking at YouTube, looking at things that I just sat and said, I can recreate that. And that's what I started doing. So I ended up, John and I ended up doing event planning first, to help people that were getting married. But, that was one business that we had, but we kind of put that off to the side. And then I started exclusive gems for you and accessories. So that's the background of that business. Now, where I got the talent from, I can tell you definitely from my grandmother, who was a seamstress, and my mother was actually an artist. And those two people with creativity is what I saw constantly. So that helped me tap into who I am creatively, the two of them, and then this is what brings us back to the combination or all three of us bringing our talents together in this one core business. So although we have our separate businesses, we do have the 3 Harlem Sistas where we can now highlight what we're already doing, but in one company. So, basically that's my background. And then I also work full-time as well.
Okay. What is the full-time job again?
Yes.
I'm sure that Janice told
My
me.
full-time job, I am an assistant social work supervisor in the New Jersey Department of Corrections. So because I have this side job that I'm doing, it's my passion because it's something that I put my heart into, which is the crafting and the event planning. And then, of course, I have the primary job, which is, the 3 Harlem Sistas help me look at what entrepreneurship should be, because as we are moving through the 21st century and we keep moving forward, we want to be able to a lot of us as women want to move into being our own business owners. And, as we were discussing, 3 Harlem Sistas, that was the biggest thing we were talking about. How do we take what we have and move this company where we want it to go? And that's just, again, putting our whole heart into it, which what Timeshia was saying and Janice was saying, we all have to put our heart into it, and we've learned things from the people before us, and that is the sole purpose of us bringing our business together as much as we are, because we do want to, or I do want to step away from having to work for someone for the rest of my life, and that's something I don't want to do forever.
And it seems that more and more people are doing that. I know that even here in North Carolina and even friends of mine that are in other states, not just Jersey, but even New York and California and other places, it seems like more and more of us are trying to find ways to break into business. Now, some people are doing that but through the multi-level marketing kind of programs, but a lot of people seem to be doing what y'all are doing, which is trying to find a niche market and then trying to work that niche market as best as possible, because I think a lot of people are getting frustrated by the fact that if you're working for a corporation or even a small company, you're pretty much at the mercy of what those small companies or corporations are doing that's supporting their business and not necessarily supporting your business and helping you grow and develop financially the way that you want to be successful. So it does seem that more and more people are doing that, and I've definitely seen an increase of women business owners as well, particularly around here, but just around the country. It seems like more and more women are definitely feeling that they want to use their talents in order to create a business that they can live off of and not have to work for a corporation, whatever that corporation is.
Yeah, that's so true, because as women, we have so much we can offer. And I think at times we just look at what we do as mothers or caregivers, and we're helping others, and then you're sitting at home and one day you discover something that you never thought you could tap into. But as you read articles or go on Facebook, it's so much information out there on, women trying to be successful at their own business. And I think it's a wonderful thing, because some of us have fear. And I know in the beginning I've had fears before, like, oh, this is not going to be successful. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe it's not something I really want to do. And you turn away from it. But then I think with the 3 Harlem Sistas, with us all coming together the way we did, we are motivating each other. And to say, this can be done. This is possible. We can do this. And we motivate each other in that way. And I think that's the most helpful thing, and I would say that to any woman that's listening right now, that even if you don't have a partner, that's okay, but you need someone in your corner that's going to support you to move forward and say that you can do it just like everybody else. So, ladies, if you agree with that, I feel that that's where we are, how supportive we are to each other, to motivate each other to move forward.
We are, and we're supportive of each other in our separate businesses as well.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah, because it seems like y'all support each other, not just in the one business that y'all are growing together, but that y'all are supporting each other in the various businesses that y'all have created. And it sounds like y'all have created a number of businesses that y'all are helping each other out, and probably even referring customers to each other, or to one referring to the other if it's not something that they are comfortable in doing. So if it's something that the caterer is able to do with their dish that the baker's not able to do, or if April's able to help with some of the things that she's doing, y'all are probably referring each other to each other. So I know that that's always a great thing for business owners to do on a general rule and everything. But I was just wondering, how many of you are actually, like I said, I know that April is both a mother and a grandmother, because, of course, John has talked about that on the show and everything. But I was just wondering, how many of the other ladies on the phone, are y'all both mothers, and are you also involved with significant others that are helping you with the business, or are y'all all at different levels of where you are in life? So I was just kind of curious as to who's supporting you in your businesses and where y'all are in terms of having kids and things of that nature.
My kids support me. All of my family, my significant other, everyone support me, and I do have a grandson as well. My entire family supports me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the third person.
I have my mom and my kids, and I have my husband that also supports me. I also have a wonderful little person that I adore to death, which is my grandson. He's my superhero. So we're all grandmas, actually.
So it's great seeing that the grandmas are all doing some great work in the business community, because I know sometimes people will try to write people off when they get to be a certain part of life, whether that's a grandparent, whether that's a aunt, whether that's an uncle or whatever. Then once you hit those certain kind of age ranges, people start trying to write off people as being able to not do business. But it seems to me that y'all are not allowing those stereotypes to get in the way. You're not going to allow people to stop you because of what people would consider ageism or sexism or a lot of the other isms that exist in society. It sounds like y'all are all determined to try to make this as successful as possible. Now, will the three Harlem Sistas have a physical location? And if so, where will that physical location be, and when will the grand opening be? Because I think I saw something on Facebook about y'all were planning something for 2019. So I was just curious as to what that event was and how y'all are going about planning that.
Yes, we're having our launch, and it's February 23rd, 2019, and it will be in Harlem, and it is a free event, and we just want everybody to come out and support, see what we have to offer.
Okay, and what it will be at? Give us the address of where it'll be at in case people are listening that are in that New York area that might want to come to the event.
Ladies, do anyone have the address on hand right in front of them?
I don't have the address off the top of my head, but we are in Harlem. The place is called El Barrio Art Studio. That's the name of the location of the event, and it's on 99th Street between 3rd and 2nd Avenues. You can't miss it. You will not be able to miss it. We're going to have a huge banner. There's a beautiful lawn. There's going to be arrows letting people know where the entrance is going to be. There's also an access to an elevator if there's anyone that comes, that is disabled or has a wheelchair or anything for that particular, or someone that's elderly that can't go downstairs and things like that. There is an elevator accessible for that purpose, for that just in case. But yes, that's where we're located. Anyone, you can Google the place, and it's going to come up as El Barrio Art Studio. That will definitely give you the exact address and location, but it's on 99th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue.
I have the address for you. It's 215 East 99th Street, New York, 10029. And that will be February 23rd, 2019 at 5:30 p.m.
And I have a friend that comes up there. And I have a friend that comes up there at least 2 or 3 times a year because he brings performers up to the Apollo. So where is that in reference to the Apollo Theater? So like I said, my buddy, he brings talent from North Carolina. We actually do a talent show, and then we bring our winners up there to perform at the historic Apollo Theater. So not being
if you're in a car, it's about a 10-minute ride.
Okay, so So about a 10-minute ride from the Apollo Theater. So that's not bad at all.
Yes.
So I have to tell him that it'll be heading up in that general direction. Now, I know with a lot of times with grand openings, there'll be